Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze was one of those games I just wasn't sure about in regards to a purchase. I had watched several gameplay videos and a few reviews, and just wasn't sure if the game was worth the price tag. So a few weeks ago, I saw it on sale on Walmart.com for $39.99 and finally decided I cannot be the only one wondering what this game is worth in 2021. Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of What's It Worth, where I review a game and give you my opinion on what I believe a game is worth. So make sure you smash that like button and subscribe for more What's It Worth reviews. Please note, I understand a game is worth what someone is willing to pay for it. Obviously, anyone is able to have their own opinion on what they like and dislike and have the freedom to buy and pay whatever they feel is reasonable. This is just my opinion based on the content within the game, the age of the game, how long it is, replayability, if there's a multiplayer, and how good the multiplayer is. I have spent many years buying and playing games and have a general idea of what I feel I should be paying. This is simply to give you an idea or baseline of what a game is worth. And if money is no object, this is still a general review, so there is still something here for you. So let's get started. Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze originally released on the Wii U in 2014. Unfortunately, I never owned a Wii U, so I did not get to play the game prior to the Switch release. So if you were hoping for some comparison, unfortunately I cannot help you there. Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze was released as a port on the Nintendo Switch in 2018, 4 years after its initial release. From my research online, it is practically the same game with improved resolution from the Wii U version, which was 720p, to the 1080p docked version on the Switch, and the addition of Funky Mode, an easier mode that you can play rather than just the original. Graphics. This game is absolutely beautiful on the Switch. The characters and levels are simply stunning, and it is definitely a fantastic game to look at, and it runs at 60 frames per second in both docked and undocked. Story. There isn't much in the way of a story here. Donkey Kong is celebrating his birthday when the Snowmads, which are Arctic animals like penguins, polar bears, walruses, etc., that resemble Vikings, spoil the celebration by invading Donkey Kong's home and creating a blizzard that makes the island into the Snowmad's own personal winter wonderland. Donkey Kong will need to take back his home by defeating the Snowmads and saving the day. The story and single player for this game took me approximately 7 to 8 hours for the first run through. Gameplay. The gameplay within Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze is rather good. The level designs are fantastic and they are really well thought out, even clever at times. So many times during the game I was wowed by the presentation of different levels and how the interworkings of that level comes together seamlessly. Throughout the levels, or even the start, if you select one of the characters before the start of the level or finished a prior level with one of Donkey Kong's companions, Diddy Kong, Dixie Kong, or Cranky Kong. By adding one of the companions that rides on Donkey Kong's back, you will gain 2 hearts, as well as a special ability. Then sometimes throughout the level, the game will give you a barrel that has the option of all 3 or just 1. Oftentimes, when you are able to select one of the 3 companions to assist you within a level, it gives the player some freedom on how they want to approach that level, or maybe why choosing a specific companion over another can be beneficial in that landscape. I will say, before I started playing Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, I thought it would be more of a novice type game, seeing as it is a Donkey Kong game. However, in the original mode, this game was rather difficult. I found myself dying a lot as I progressed through the levels. I personally prefer harder games, as I am a huge Dark Souls fan, but I just didn't expect it from this game. Also, the boss battles, which are a nice addition and enjoyable, however, they do seem to last forever and have many stages. Like the rest of the game, the bosses are rather difficult, as you'd probably expect, And if you die, you have to start the boss fight all over again. Seems like we're kind of going back to that whole Dark Souls idea. And this can kind of make the game kind of tedious for those areas. So just keep that in mind if you were looking for just a casual platformer like some of the Mario games. Unless of course you play the funky mode I mentioned earlier. In this mode you can use the shopkeeper's Funky Kong, who has a cool outfit and a surfboard that allows you to spin in the air and stay suspended in the air longer, as well as being able to double jump. The surfboard also prevents damage from spiky floors. Funky Kong also has 5 hearts, so it does take much longer to die than that of the 2 hearts you get with Donkey Kong in the original mode. Donkey Kong is also playable in Funky mode, and this mode really makes the game a lot faster, and it's actually really enjoyable for those who don't want to die a whole lot. Lastly, I did find the controls sometimes were a bit clunky, but for the most part, they played fine multiplayer. This game does have the ability to allow 2 players to play on one Switch. One can run Donkey Kong and one can run one of the companions, Dixie Kong, Diddy Kong, or Cranky Kong. I unfortunately have not gotten to try this, so I really don't have much to say here. Other than that, it's nice that it's here, and there isn't an online play. Replayability. For replayability, after all of the levels are completed, a hard mode can be unlocked. This will give some incentive to play through with 1 heart. As for me, I'm gonna pass on that. There is also a time trials for each level as well. Also, at Funky Kong's shop, you can collect gallery items from the gumball machine with the use of coins. This can also be done on an initial playthrough, but it will give some the opportunity to go back and play through again to try to go ahead and collect those. So there is some replayability here. What's it worth? So now to the question I'm sure many of you are waiting for. What's this game worth in 2021? I have 2 answers for this. If you have the game on Wii U and have played it through, I don't know that there is enough reason here to purchase the game again unless you absolutely loved the game and want to be able to take it on the go. As for those like me that have not gotten to play this game before the Switch release, being that the game is almost 3 years old from the original Switch release and close to 7 years old from its original Wii U release, the fantastic visuals, the storyline / single player being about 7 to 8 hours for a regular run through, and having some replayability value with no online multiplayer, this game is worth around the $35 mark. All in all, Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze is a solid platformer and a relatively decent game. Anyway, I hope this helps, and don't forget to subscribe for more What's It Worth content. Thank you so much. Later.